Did Nintendo get caught using Gen AI in these photos of my Mario that they tweeted out yesterday? I mean, you can't spell Mario without AI after all, am I right? So here's what's happening. The internet noticed something odd with one of these photos, specifically being the one in the bottom left, and you may have already clocked it for yourself, because if we zoom in here, you can see something appears to be a little bit out of place, or maybe a lot out of place, being the mother's thumb. That appears to be an impossible angle, and that would certainly cause a lot of pain if that were possible, right? And that has the internet in a blaze. If you read all the replies to this tweet, it's everyone calling it out for Nintendo using AI. Now, people think this because AI often or has a tendency to screw up the hands, specifically fingers, but I guess the thumb too, which is what people are calling out in this case. So did Nintendo get caught red-handed, so to speak, using AI, despite their apparent soft anti-AI stance? Okay, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm 99.99, repeating of course, percent certain that there was absolutely no AI used in these images for two very specific reasons. One of which you absolutely cannot miss, or maybe you will want to miss after you see what I'm talking about. So here's reason one why I don't think AI was used in this image, because putting aside the weird thumb for a moment, I could find no clear indicators that AI was used anywhere else in this picture, either here or in the other three as well. In fact, if we zoom in on one of the other three, we can see a perfectly normal set of hands, two of them in fact, which of course AI is infamous for getting wrong, hence a potential issue with the first one there, although AI has gone better at it in recent months. Furthermore, another area that AI often struggles with is fabric, and we have quite a bit of it in this picture. So if we zoom in on the carpet, nothing appears to be out of place. That looks like a perfectly normal carpet to me, with nothing weird happening in the pattern. It seems to be entirely realistic. And that goes for the clothing that they're wearing too. The folds all seem to be right. Nothing appears to be, out of place in a physics sense. And it all looks perfectly normal. And that really is kind of the point, because something else that AI is known to do is it makes things look a little bit too perfect, a little bit too clean. And yet we can find some pretty clear flaws in this image. Now obviously, these pictures are meant to look good. They were taken seemingly professionally with the intent of being used in marketing materials. So they want them to look good. And yet, you're still not ever going to get it perfect like AI can. You're always going to find little flaws in real images that's just inherent to the, real world. So let's go ahead and show off what I mean here, because if we zoom in on the rocking chair on the left, we can see what appears to be actual wear and tear on the leg. You probably want to see that in AI, as AI again uses or tends to go for a really perfect and clean image. And moving on to a different image real quick, you can see that even the outside deck or patios here is a little messy with a bunch of fallen leaves all over the place. Furthermore, if you look at the wood grain on the couch right here in the middle, you can see a weird dark spot, which again, I don't think AI would generate. And while we're here also, you can see the daughter's reflection in the iPad. I don't know if AI is good at that or not, I just noticed the observation there and thought I'd point it out. Finally, again, just look at the texture on the mom's shirt or sweater, having that perfectly realistic fuzz and nothing weird happening with the patterns. Okay, so if AI wasn't used anywhere else, how in the heck do we explain this thumb? That has to be AI, right? Because it's at an impossible angle. That would break your thumb, wouldn't it? Well, I had to find out for myself by recreating the scene in my very own treehouse. So here I am getting in a position of my very own Mario plush. And you can see how I'm trying to work out how in the heck do I get my thumb into that position in the first place. I have to say, so far it was looking like it wasn't going to happen. But after a bit more adjusting, boom! Let's see how it compares to the original image. I have to say, I think I kind of nailed it. And no, I didn't have to dislocate or break my thumb. Though I will say it's not super comfortable, so I don't recommend trying it for yourself. Point is, despite how unnatural it may look at first glance, it's entirely possible. And that's why I can say with 99.99% certainty that Nintendo did not use AI on these images.
No AI!
The things this dork does for the channel. So there you have it, everyone. Once again, I'm pretty sure there was zero AI used in these images, which is a great thing, as I'm not a huge fan of Gen AI, especially as it applies to the arts. Which does remind me of one of the points I wanted to bring up though, and I think we need to be more careful with what we're calling AI or not, and make sure before we apply that label that we're being accurate with it. Because by being inaccurate, we're not only devaluing the entire point of being critical of AI, but we're also devaluing the art itself, which is the entire point, the entire thing we're trying to defend. Because even bad art is still art. As long as a human made it, it is art. I don't care how bad it is. Even Sticker Star, still art. So before you call something AI, let's make sure that it actually is AI first, or at least as sure as you can possibly be. With that, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Click subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you later. Bye, everyone.